Hello, hello. Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Well, good afternoon. I'm gonna introduce myself, Oscar Torres Yarzagaray. I'm the president of ARAI. I'm here to show you all the infrastructure portfolio we have in this 4-year period in the different ways, in the railroad, in the pluvial one, on the roads, and also regarding air. Good afternoon, everyone. Maria Patricia Sandoval here. I'm the manager of structuring on financial development. The president will show you the pipeline at a national level regarding projects. And we would like to complement this information with the projects that at a subnational level we are also fostering. Very well. We have here our main accomplishments. We have 3,500 million on contracts subscribed from the beginning of this administration. We have here our roads, our most important roads regarding the projects, where indeed we can see the public works regarding La Dorada Chiriguara, Bogotá Berencito, Buga Buenaventura, PCC port in the Urabá Gulf. This is the Dique Canal in Cartagena, Rafael Núñez Airport for 11 subscribed contracts, 7 of them of constructions, 2.2 billion and 96,000 jobs. Next awards, we will have the Southwest Airport in Palmira with an investment of 4.42 billion pesos. And we also have this draft on general terms. And well, we are going to dive in on projects per each module. And we're going to start with the railroads, understanding that a state policy with our president Gustavo Petro, his plan of development and institutional and governmental and, alignments are strongly within his agenda, the railroad activation of the country. Okay, so to us in the ANI, we want to present how each one of the areas are, what have we been doing in this time, and what's left to do. We have La Dorada Chiriguara with 526 kilometers, a value of 3.4 billion pesos. It's on the process of opening APP, and the entity that it's in charge is ANI. We also have Catatumbo train, which is a consultancy of 7,361 million, 258.2 kilometers with a value of 22 billion. And currently it's in the pre-feasibility stage, and the entity in charge is the Planning National Department. We have Bogotá, the Central Railroad Corridor, with a length of 410 kilometers, a value of 20.5 billion. The current stage is pre-feasibility, and the entity in charge is ANI. We have Bogotá Belencito, 228 kilometers, 1.4 billion. In the stage, it's public work viability, and the entity in charge it's also ANI. We have Villavicencio Gaitán Port, 198 kilometers, 14.4 billion. The current stage is in the development of the idea, and the entity in charge is the UPIT. And Jumbo Caimalito, length 251 kilometers, zero point 0.9 billion. The entity in charge is ANI. Pacific Train, 560 kilometers, 69 billion. Right now in pre-feasibility, and the entity in charge is ANI. And also we have Cupica Darien, which is the interoceanic, 267 kilometers, 26 billion. Right now it's in pre-feasibility stage, and the one in charge is the UPIT. We have 100, there are 182 billion on estimated investment regarding capex. Public work estimated investment of 4.1, and investment on structure 55,200 million approximately. Well, if we take a look at the importance of this project, meaning La Dorada Chiriguara, which was awarded on April the 3rd, which was a transparent process in the ANI with national and foreign capitals. And this, we went all the way through because there was a technical tie among the three. We opened envelopes, and because that person that estimated the value, the nearest value regarding the average, was awarded without any scenario of any complaint during the selection process whatsoever. The three parts were satisfied with the process. And we can see the importance of this great project, 3.4 billion. And we can see from La Dorada till Yariguara this really important corridor for the financial and social development of the country. What we have here, well, in the part where ANI shows up, the railroad corridor, and La Dorada Chiriguara, we have the vehicle mode. We have transfer centers of load. We have the operation, the structuring of a railroad workshop, administrative building, and also the operation and the interconnection with one of the most important ports in the country, located in Santa Marta. Specifically, this project, we have a progress of 88% estimated value, and the date of completion will be June the 30th of 2025. We have here a note of what had happened corresponding to phase 3, 410 kilometers of length, 298 kilometers already built, 118 kilometers of improvement of the railroad corridors. We have 80 kilometers on tunnels. We have some other kilometers on the enhanced of some tunnels. In total, we have 35 bridges. And well, as we can see in the graph, the pre-feasibility selected alternative, where we can see the green road of the new work without the main work stop working. And indeed, this is the Central Railroad corridor. Okay, so the Pacifico Railroad corridor, the progress is already in 98%, 24,000 million, the value, 115 kilometers built, 4.6 of improvement of these railroad corridors, 37.8 kilometers in tunnels, 22.4 kilometers on bridges, The selected alternative is in the pre-feasibility stage, and this alternative of the Buenaventura road, Almira, and it's the one that it's in yellow, where you can see from Palmira, Buenaventura, one of the main ports of the country. And this work that would be improving a whole process of improvement and also social and economic impact for the region, where that's the state, the status where it is right now, and the scope is feasible. Here we have a summary of this structuring at a feasibility level, where we have the three main projects: Buenaventura Palmira, structuring cost of $16.2 million, the Central Railroad Corridor, 19.4 billion, and structuring costs with the IVA included. So the other module that it's taking place in Colombia with the airports, and here we have the airport beds for 2024-2026, and we're going to start for the Southwest Airport, which is in the middle part of the country. 1.1 million dollars on September 2025. We started the process, and we started the planning on March. The processes with Compass, with the steering committees and the hiring committees on May, the opening of third parties. We expect that by October of 2024, we have the award hearings, and on January of 2026, to award third parties. That's the goal, that's the projection we have. And we also see that between CAPEX and OPEX, $12.7 billion. Regarding the Casi Airport, on September 2025, we expect to have the assessment of the private initiative. On October of 2025, to go till the Customs Ministry, all the COMPEX, the steering committees, the hiring committees. November of 2025, the publishing of the conditions, and March of 2026, the award hearing. And on June of 2026, the award hearing for third parties. We can see that that's the traceability of the timeline that the ANI allows us to comply. And regarding the EPMAX airport, we have feasibility and evaluation studies by September 2025. On October of 2025, going to the ministry, going to the Planning National Department, the Compass, the steering committees, the hiring committees. November 2025, the publishing of the conditions. March 26, hearings. And July 2026, hearings, award hearings for third parties. These are the routes regarding airports that we have right now under the responsibility of ANI. We see the Southwest Airport, which is a private initiative. We have the type of project and a brief description. in the scenario, and this is relevant regarding the projects. On 2016, we had the approval of the pre-feasibility, 2017, pre-feasibility studies, and by 2019, and some adjustments to the feasibility that took place on 2022. And we can see that this is how things are working right now, and we expect that by 2026, the award is already granted by or for third parties. Here is a very important graphs of functional units from the 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. It helps a lot on the execution process of the project because the function unit generate cash. And in that order of ideas, we have here each one of the colors represent functional units, and this helps. It's a really good incentive to the implementation process because it liberates cash flow each time the functional units are progressing till it gets to the 100%. So we got to the roads project, and we start with one that it's Villeta Guaduas. We can see here 139.8 kilometers, construction in double sidewalk, 18 kilometers, rehabilitation of existing sidewalk, 58.5 kilometers, enhancing of existing double sidewalk, 5 kilometers, duration of pre-construction 1 year, and the construction 5 years, a concession for 29 years with 16 functional units. An estimated investment of 7.6 billion and 16 billion on future projects. Here we can see the timeline of the project, maximum date 30 years, September 2023. We had the approval up to June of 2025. On March of 2026, bidding processes and awards, and we started the process by March of 2027 when we started the construction up to 2032. In this scenario, we can see it's a double sidewalk project. We have the construction of tunnels, and we can see the whole work and where it is located now. Second project, the Popayan Estanquillo, an estimated investment of 7.7 billion with a project schedule 20 years. We see that starting pre-construction on July of 2027 and reaching the remaining time up to the 20 years. We have 14 tunnels, 116 bridges, new interventions, 5 of them, and we have in operations and maintenance during the whole corridor 252.8 kilometers. We have the center connection IPE. It connects Manizales, Pereira, Armenia, and La Paila. And there is an estimated investment of 6.52 billion pesos, 68.9 kilometers of double side weight construction, 5.8 of variants, 16 intersections, 6 national pacings, and some other projects remaining. And we got to the part of the pluvial projects, where we can see that we currently have on Ciénaga Magdalena 2 requests, in Cartagena 2 requests, in Turbo Antioquia 1, and in Buenaventura Valle del Cauca 3 requests. Ongoing ones, we have 8 for more than $278.9 million. So, Rio Córdoba Port Society, we are waiting for the granting. The request was made on February 3rd of 2023. It has an estimated deadline for 30 years. It includes civil works, ports, access canals. It also foresees equipment purchase, and it's a multi-purpose terminal for the administration and operations of hydrocarbons. An investment plan of 38.25 million, where we estimate the cost of the port in dollars of price of 2024, located in the Córdoba River. We have Ciénaga Port Society located that is right now in expedition. The request was made on February 24 of 2023, 25 years of deadline. The service are supply activities, installation and connection, and lines. The scope of this port, an investment plan of 20.21 million. Supply complementary works and on dollars of 2022, and it's located at the north of the Grumo concession in the Ciénaga Magdalena City Hall concession. And this is the third concession that is in Colombia, the Meta River. We can see the whole connection that it encompasses in the graph in the upper part. We already talked about the Magdalena River. There's also a project for the Dique Canal. Now we have the Meta River, and it's right now in the scenario of prioritization. Rio Trato, Rio Putumayo, Rio Guapés River, San Juan River, and Inírida River. On October 19, we subscribed the starting acts. On June of 2025, the structuring was finalized, and the estimated time for the compliance of this purpose, it's by the midst of this year, by the end of the first semester. By the second semester of 2024, we expect the approval. On 2026 first semester, we expect to have the opening of the selection process, and by the second semester of 2026, we expect to start the bidding process for hiring. And now something new that the ANI is managing, and this is social ANI, and all these alignments that are in social ANI are established in the development plan of the current administration, and ANI is helping in the materialization of this infrastructure that are of high impact for the social and economic development of the country, working hand to hand with the ministries, which are the Ministry of Education, the Ministry of Health, and Household Ministry. They have prioritized some projects, and these projects were prioritized by ANI. and they support for them to be materialized. And we have this sustained by the 2094 law of 2023, where we show you here the big projects, the big social projects that are being managed from ANI, the Simón Bolívar Hospital, the Cancer Hospital, Rafael Calvo Hospital, the the regional hospital of Barranca Bermeja and Oro Yopal. We have the populations, the estimated investments, the infrastructure, and the financiers. And on today's morning, we have a meeting with some managers of the bid where they gave us some really good news of some resources for Colombia to keep financing these projects from a social standpoint, and an amount that goes up to $2 million for the strengthening of these projects. As I was saying, these projects have been prioritized by the health ministry, and we are going to comply with them when we talked about hospitals, but there's also the education ministry. So if the education ministry is here, we have some portfolios for educational projects. Is the structuration of schools in Soacha and some other schools in Cali, also financed by the BIT, and 8 schools of construction designs and dotations, financing, operations, maintenance, and reversion. 9 schools of design, construction, dotation, financing, operation, maintenance, and reversion in Cali, going up to 715 million, 162 million dollars in educational structure and strengthening of the educational scenario in these 2 regions of the country. And we also have portfolio of sanitation and water. That's why the other ministry that is working with them is the household ministry, and we have here this project in Santa Marta, and we have a PTAR in Cucuta. We have the values of the infrastructure of sewer and construction of water treatment located or that are really related to the environmental issues that we face in the country. So these 2 projects go up to $7.50 million. And well, they also have to do with ANI social. This is new right now in the agency, but as a matter of summary, we have the concession projects that are being developed, and they go. This is an investment of more of $63 billion to benefit more than 23 million people and to generate more than 1 million jobs between direct and indirect ones. These are located in the geographical scenario, and we will have high complexity hospitals, educational infrastructure programs, and basic water and sanitation programs in the cities of Cúcuta and Santa Marta. So I'll give you this link or this QR code for anyone who wants to keep the presentation, and we are open for questions or comments. I also would like to give you some good news, which is that there is a new law project that circulates in the Congress, the 073 one, and that is helping investors to decrease their risk regarding the topic of possible imbalances, because this is being beneficial for private initiatives. that have any contingency funds, and that helps to mitigate risks if there is any problem whatsoever. So thank you very much, and please do ask questions or make comments. Thank you very much.
Muchas gracias, señor.
So thank you ever so much, Mr. President. Just to add on to what was said, I will ask you for 5 more minutes, just to let you know some of the projects that the EFN is supporting at a regional level. Yesterday we started with some of that. Thank you. We're going to start with the railway projects. Okay, let's have the pointer. Okay. So as you know, the FDN was the one who developed the metro mover for the first metro mover, and it's got more than 50% already supported. And line 2, we were the ones who structured it as well. It's 16 million in capex, of a length of about very important 15.5 kilometers. 11 stations, 10 of them underground, 1 raised. It's going to benefit more than 2.5 million people, and it is a project, it's in bidding process. Apart from that, we are the ones structuring the 3rd line after Metro Mover in Bogota, which is a comprehensive structure. It is in the feasibility project. Right now, everybody knows that we are looking into the final scope, but the idea is to have the municipality of Soacha with the city center. There'll be an underground metro completely. We're working right now with the metropolitan region, with the municipality of Soacha to make this project a reality and start building it. We're also working in some passenger trains. We started with a huge project, which is the Tren de Cercanías from the Cauca Valley. It had 3 phases, but the one that was prioritized is the one between Cali and Jauregui. It's 23.1 kilometers, 21 stations, a capex of more than $6 billion US dollars. It's financed already. It is a project that it is waiting for the technical support or technical permits to get the co-financing. Dorada Chunguana, we already heard about this project, but we are extremely proud of being the structures of this project. The train corridor of Del Pacifico, we also did it. We did the pre-feasibility studies, and we are now about to work in the feasibility phase. The beginning of that feasibility phase will be in the stretch between Palmira and Buenaventura, as the president or the CEO already mentioned. And this stretch should just move cargo. We're working with communities from Pacifico and ANE. The idea here is that in the 2nd semester of 2026, we can open the bidding process. Quite important is also to mention that there were projects are not just of nationwide interest, but we're also working with the governments of Guayaquil, Tolima in Colombia for those train lines, and we're working with the different governors' offices, and we're about to start with this mandate. On the other hand, and adding on to this railway model, we also have this hospital. We're also working with the National Infrastructure Agency, with Simón Bolívar Hospital. It will be a project that will be a landmark. It is a hospital that would impact greatly a large number of citizens in Bogota and nationwide, as well as internationally or globally. We are waiting to open the bidding process by July 2026, and we are actively working with Annie, providing support as well with the health project. We've also got this project that it's not a national project, but it's also being supported by a university. They're trying to expand the hospital because it had a deficit. It was already way too small, not only just for students to do their internships there, but also for the people that it can serve. And it is complemented not just with the hospital or the first level health centers, the CAPS. These only structures are put together, the hospital, but the health centers from 3 different cities. The estimated capex is of about 1.3 billion, and right now we're looking in the transactional scheme to effectively know if we should move forward with an alternative, with a PPP alternative, or do something else. It is a project that currently we've got in mind for structuring. Something interesting, and that was mentioned this morning, I'm sort of obsessed with intermodality. Cable cars, which in the different regions are turning into a extremely good alternative in the urban area. As part of our portfolio, we've got this cable car in La Calera right now. Citizens take from one municipality to the other about 2 hours, and they're quite close as well. So we're trying to define what the scope will be. It's about 6.6 kilometers, it's got 3 stations. It would be a tourist attraction as well. And we are about to start or to finalize the pre-feasibility phase and to start the feasibility phase of this system. It's called an environmental route that is quite important because it needs to go through 4 forest national reserves between Bogota and La Calera, but the scope has already been defined, and we are willing to move forward with this project. The other project that we are helping to structure with the governance of Cundinamarca is the cable car in the municipality of Soacha. As you know, this has already been awarded between Soacha, the one in Potosí. However, we require a solution within the municipality of Soacha, and we are helping the governance together with the French development service that helped with the hiring of the technical team, the finance piece, and the legal piece. We are about to define the scope, and after that, we look into the financial structuring of it all. We hope to have an open bidding process by January 2026. Around education, and maybe finally complementing what is being done nationwide with schools and basic and mid-education systems. We're working from the FEN. We are providing support to Bogota. These are multi-campus. This is for higher education, where you can share by the different public universities and private universities as well as space for technical studies, for professional studies for the inhabitants of the locality of Kennedy. The idea here is to add on to the already existing structure with the building of 45,000 square meters, additional square meters to help the city of Bogota. And at this time, the agency in charge of it is Atenea, and we're working together with the Ministry of Education, because these projects will be co-financed with our nation's resources. So we're hoping to open the bidding process by January 2026 of this educational project. around multi-campus as well. I think multi-campus is also coming from the National Development Plan, Mr. CEO of the ANI, and we're helping in that. In the governance of Cundinamarca, we were asked to carry out a assessment or study around the feasibility of the multi-campus in Cundinamarca. So we want students to go to school in the same areas where they're from, and they can actually find jobs within the same regions, So I think this is something that we are prioritizing. It is in La Mesa, Cochacontá, so that we can develop these multi-campuses in the department or state of Cundinamarca. And finally, let me come back to intermodality, because of course I would like for you to keep that in mind and to leave with this idea. Intermodality is not only about the load, it's about passengers. We're working strenuously in intermodality to have this modality for Cundinamarca, Bogota. It is a project of 1.4 billion in which we are going to decentralize the transportation areas where the users of the intermunicipality buses can find true solutions to move along the different cities in the different modalities, so that when you get off the municipality bus, wherever you come from around the region, Bogota and Cundinamarca, you can find a proper and more efficient alternative. It will save time impressively, but also a reduction of emissions. We are trying to bring together the region to work with them through the feasibility phase, so that this project can become a reality, and we can actually talk about January 2026, and that by then we can have our bidding process open. Thank you ever so much. This would be what I wanted to expand on, and so this is what we want to do in Colombia.